Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a bike check. So if you haven't already seen on my Instagram and other social media platforms, for the 2020 season I'm riding for Extension bikes and I'll be riding their Jarvis frame. Pretty much everything on the bike is standard how you would get it out of a box, apart from tyres, grips and brakes. So let's get into the frame a little bit. It's an aluminium frame. They do steel versions as well. The pots, which I have back in the bike shed ready to build up. So the frame, let's go with the Geo. The frame's Geo is a 965mm wheelbase. Chainstay length is 362mm. Bottom bracket is a +15 and the head angle is 74 degrees. Right, the Jarvis forks, not really much to say about them apart from the bolt through axle, and they weigh 1,000 grams. I think the frame weighs 1,950 grams, so it's a pretty light setup. Wheels, I'm running the Schwallaby tabletop tyres. Purely they were just recommended by a couple of other riders and they had a nice price tag on them. I think they were like £17 something per tyre, which in comparison to some of the other ones like the Conti Danny McCaskill Air Kings or whatever they're called are like 40 odd quid a tyre. It's just, no. Went for these and they are a fantastic tyre in all fairness. Rims, spokes and hubs on front and rear. Both wheels are extensions standard. What you get out of a box are these, and yeah, no, I haven't buckled them. I haven't flat spotted them. I haven't done anything to them. And I have given the bike a bit of a pasting already. That could be down to the wheel build though. They did come all loose. It was easier for shipping. So a big shout out to Carl Pinkman, a friend of mine from Porthcawl. He was a bike mechanic and he built the wheels for me, and he did the last wheel set on my Merino, and in nearly 2 years for that wheel set, they went on 2 different Merino frames and I didn't even have to touch them or tweak them. They were just perfectly built. I should say on the Jarvis frame, the back end is 142mm, as where your standard bikes these days are 135mm. So when you buy the frame kit, or if you're not buying the full bike, you're just getting the frame kit, Extension do provide their hub as well, but that is only a fixed hub, so you will have to run a freewheel, which I'm running now is a 72 click engagement freewheel. Drive chain. So again, Extension cranks, bottom bracket, bash, sprocket and pedals. Just a fantastic bit of kit. Haven't had to change anything. I did go to an indoor skate park, so I was being a bit courtesy and I put some plastic pedals on while I was in there, but no, Extension pedals are back on, as all skate parks are now closed. Extension bars. I haven't got an Extension stem actually, funny enough. They didn't have any left in stock when they sent stuff over just before Christmas, and obviously because of the whole pandemic the whole world is in at the moment, they haven't been able to send me out a stem yet, so I'm running the BBB 90 by 30 stem, which is exactly what the Extension one will be. Just I think their one is CNC'd. I think this might be CNC'd, I don't know. But it will be the same, so I'll have no different to the feel of the bike when it does arrive. What else is on? Extension seat and seat clamp. I'm running Shimano Dior standard brakes, like the standard 2-pot piston. I was running the Magura MT5s for a while, but I just found their levers were made of cheese. Every time you sort of fell, you'd hardly even touch the rock with your bike when you were bailing off, and they would just crack and break all the time. So I got fed up of spending loads of money. John Shrewsbury recommended these to me. I paid something like 65 quid brand new on eBay. And that was like 2 years ago, and I've never had an issue with them. Running Shimano SLX 180 disc rotors and EBC red pads. Now I think that's why the brakes are so good, is just down to the brake pad. You get a decent brake pad compound going, and yeah, you're in for the win then. So what else is there? Did I say the grips? Vans waffle grips, and that's about it. That's it. Oh, and a KMC chain. Again, it's just a standard KMC chain, something like 8 quid on Amazon or eBay, or from your local bike shop. They're about 8 or 9 quid. I had one like that in gold on my last bike, on my Merino, and I don't think I changed it for a year, which they do recommend changing every so many months, but they're just a really good strong chain, and like I said, pretty much standard these days. Everyone is running a KMC in the trials industry. And that is about it. Oh, and I got a tie finishing kit from Risk, a company. They make tie bolts. So yeah, I got all of the bling all over the bike. And that is about it. There's not really much else on there that is going to jump out at you, apart from everything that you kind of see is kind of how your bike would come and look when you get it straight out of the box from Extension. Yeah, and I got to admit, the guys there at Extension Bikes have been absolutely fantastic. I can't fault them. They've really hooked me up here this year for the 2020 season. If we ever get to ride and do much of it, I don't know. So yeah, that is basically it. It's pretty much a standard bike as you get it straight from the shop. I've only had a handful of actual street rides on it due to what's happening and everything going on lockdown, but I'm quite fortunate that I've got a bit of room in the garden, so I've been able to build a bit of a trials course, and I've been getting out there quite often, and putting as much practice in as I can. Again, like I said, I'm quite fortunate. There's a lot of room. I've come to the woods on Lucy's parents' land to film this. So yeah, like I said, there is some people there that don't even have a garden. They live in a studio flat and they're stuck in there. So I don't know what it's doing like for their mental health, but I don't think I'd be able to do that. So yeah, basically, like I said, it's a standard bike, pretty much, and I can't fault it. I did think it would take a bit of a while before going, because I've probably been riding bike trials now for best part of 20 years, and I've only ever ridden stock bikes or a 26-inch wheel. So going to a 24-inch wheel at the start, it was like, is it going to take me a while to get used to it? And it really hasn't. Like within a couple of rides, it didn't feel any different, apart from being a little bit smaller, but and a bit tight in the cockpit. But once I got my head around that, yeah, no, it's an amazing bike, and it's kind of made me fall in love with riding again. Like, I've always been excited about bikes. I've always had so much joy and fun when I'm out riding on a bike. So it's never like, oh, I'm a bit bored, blah de blah, and whatnot. But no, it's given me a new outlook on how to ride. Like some of the stuff when I first jumped on it, I kind of had to go back to basics a little bit and just sort of get my head around the bike a little and how it felt. But once you've done that, you're good to go. So yeah, no, that is it. This is what I'm riding. If you do follow me on other, like I said, on other social media platforms, you would have seen photos and stuff like that. So I'll put some links in the description, so you can just hit them and go have a look and have a better look at the bike. But yeah, apart from that, there it is, the Extension Jarvis.